Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to, at this point, give His Lordship the floor to address this August gathering and set the frame for the commencement of the second session of the fourth synod of our great diocese. My Lord Bishop.
Thank you very much. I welcome everybody here for this brief press conference to mark, in a way, the commencement of the yearly event of the Anglican dioceses everywhere, especially Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion, which is called SYNOD. This year, by the grace of God, the Anglican Diocese of Amich is going to have her second session of the fourth synod since its inauguration, inception, and existence. And the theme for this year's synod is rediscovering and harnessing the ministry of the laity for holistic and effective church growth in the Anglican Church. It's a very long one. In this press conference, I also want to remind us that Synod is the highest legislative body of the diocese in the Anglican hierarchy of administration. That is why a synod must have delegates, that is representatives from all the parishes that make up the diocese. For the simple reason, every decision taken by the synod is the highest decision that will stand and be binding on every member of the diocese. Our diocese is 10 years today, or this year. We just celebrated our 10th year anniversary from the 7th of January to the 13th of January 2019. We give God the glory and honor and praise for having led us thus far in these 10 years. May I also use this opportunity to appreciate our members in the diocese, both the clergy and the laity, for their support, encouragement, sacrifices, and commitment in keeping the diocese afloat and moving in the right direction in the propagation of the gospel in various ways. I want to remind us also that at the inception of this diocese, during the first session of the first synod of the diocese, we did promise in our maiden presidential address that we're going to pursue the propagation of the gospel in 4 dimensions. And we said evangelism should be holistic. That's why this word is reoccurring again in our theme, holistic, total, covering every aspect of the human need and human development. And we said that we're going to pursue evangelism through education, very standard education. We're going to pursue evangelism through robust health care. We're going to pursue evangelism through agriculture. And we're going to pursue evangelism through social programs and welfare packages, social services and welfare packages. And I must say, by the grace of God, in these 4 pillars and dimensions, the diocese have done well in making sure that these goals we set at the onset are pursued vigorously, efficiently, and effectively. We have standard institutions in the area of education. You cannot talk without referring to our convent, our darling convent, the Holy Child Convent, which is growing in leaps and bounds in all dimensions, educationally, morally, socially, and in sports. We also talk about a great citadel of learning called Masters Versus Seminary. That is another pride of the diocese since inception. By the grace of God, we also went ahead to establish the College of Nursing Sciences, which institution is doing very well by the grace of God. And currently, we have commenced the building of the School of Midwifery, which is another monumental structure that is going to go up multi-millions of naira before it can be completed. So we want to thank God for the journey so far. Our hospital is growing in all dimensions. So many things have been put in place. Scan machine, we have a maternity ward that is highly connected with oxygen to reduce mortality rate of mothers that are about to deliver, because in the case of emergency, we also have doctors round the clock in that hospital in different areas and facets. And of course, our facilities there are very wonderful and are growing by the day. So in health care, by the grace of God, we are doing the much we can do now, and it's very wonderful. In agriculture, we have our diocesan integrated farm, where we have poultry session, piggery session, fishery sessions, and lastly, thank God for those who are taking care of that farm. We have gone into what they call supplement, food supplement that you can go and buy for your, instead of taking drugs and medicines, you use these food supplements. And NAFDAC have come for the first round of inspection, commended what you are doing. You will see some of their products during the SYNOD and what they can offer you. And the farm, the integrated farm, has diversified into real farming. Real farming. They have acquired some lands in some places within our diocese, and they are farming a lot of things that are very wonderful. So in that area, we are thanking God and the managers of our farm for expanding and diversifying their activities and bringing us something better. We have our Shore Anchor table water and sachet water factory. It's working strong, it's growing every day, expanding because of demand, buying new vehicles. Within the SYNOD year, we have bought 2 new vehicles added there so that they can cope with the rising demand of distribution channel and network. In the area of spirituality, by God's grace, within these years, the Lord has helped us to disciple people through various programs in the diocese. We have the program we call monthly program, we call it prayer breakfast. It's becoming a household name beyond our diocese, wherein we gather every month, every day of the month, to start the month with God in prayer and faith. We have the special program we package for young people. We call it Valentine Banquet for every year. And God is helping us. When we started this program, we were recording about 600, 800 young people attending. But since last year and this year, we have recorded not less than 1,500 youths from everywhere in each of the gatherings. We don't neglect family front, because once we get it right at the family level, the society and the church will be very much relieved of problems. So every year we gather couples together in what we call special couples banquet, wherein we make them to understand and renew their commitment and marital vow by socializing, relaxing, and listening to the word of God and the best way forward in their marriage ventures and adventure. This year's own was wonderful. A lot of couples came from different places, even outside the diocese. These are some of the programs. We don't joke with women and ladies. And we have a program we organize every year called Wailing Women Prayer Summit. It's a wonderful program that we gather women and ladies, single and married, from all walks of life to pray in the presence of God, listen to the word of God, stand in the gap for themselves, for their marriages, for those married, and those intending to marry, to establish a serious foundation for their marriage in future, and also to prepare for the coming of the kingdom of God, second coming of Jesus. We have the program we hold every Good Friday. We call it Night of Evidence. It's another program that attracts mammoth crowd and multitude. God has been blessing his people tremendously through these programs. To make sure that we partner with parents in our two schools, Holy Child Convent Amish and Master Versus Seminary, we organize once in a year a compulsory retreat for all parents that have their children in our schools. Compulsory in the sense that the level of moral decadence and juvenile delinquency that is pervading our society is too terrible. And the parents cannot leave child training and upbringing for us alone. So we come together once a year. We teach parents what it means to be a parent and the duties of parents and parenting. Like we did tell them this year that many parents are on-the-job learners. Nobody, I doubt how many people that went for parental seminars before they got married. But immediately you get married and start having children, you become a parent. So it's almost a sandwich matter and in-service matter that many don't even know what parent is about. They think educating a child or sending a child to school, buying him or her books and clothes, that is parenting. No. So because of that gap in modeling and discipling parents so that they can do well, we gather them once a year and we really bring men, resource persons that teach them what to do. Then so many other things we do for the clergy. We are not leaving their development, and both spiritually and academically and in their ministry, we are not leaving them behind. We organize continuous retreats, workshops, and gathering of church workers and their wives, and so many other things. So for this year, we cannot say everything, but for the 1 year past, the Lord has helped us, and we succeeded in completing our ultra-modern diocesan secretariat, which we envisage to use to celebrate our 10th year anniversary, and God, in his mercy, made it a reality and something that we are proud of. We must commend also the women ministry, women organizations, for what they have done, led by the president, IKEAKOR, by putting up also another magnificent structure, which they call the Women Bethany House, wherein they will do a lot of things for women empowerment, welfare, charity work, and training. We also have in place now, within this period, a befitting diocesan business complex. And all these structures have been completed, delivered. Our primate, the Most Reverend Dr. Nicholas Oko, dedicated all these projects during our 10th year anniversary. And we are so happy that the Secretariat is now fully furnished, fully functional, and we have already relocated our office to our new Secretariat. We thank God for everything He has been helping us to do in the diocese. Having said that, there are so many other numerous things we cannot mention here, but I want to state categorically that the theme for this year's synod is very important to us. There is a serious misconception about churchmanship, ministry, and church and stewardship. The laity and the clergy dichotomy in ministry is affecting the growth of the Anglican Church. The laity are seeing the clergy now as jack of all trades and supposedly master of all, in the sense that the commitment of our lay people is not moving the church forward the way it ought to. It's not the fault of the laity. We have also discovered that by looking at this theme, rediscovering and harnessing the ministry of the laity, the church leadership is guilty in seeing that these lay people are not really harnessed, encouraged, and empowered to do church work. In most places, the clergy see laity as threat in ministry, especially when a layman has a ministry of preaching, praying, ministering effectively. So many clergymen are highly uncomfortable. And unfortunately, some go to the extent of strangulating that ministry of the lay. And this attitude has made a lot of lay members of our church, either they become redundant or they leave our church to look for where they will be given the opportunity to exercise their ministry. Again, when we don't have serious commitment for our laity, when we come to church, the clergy will read the lesson, the clergy will pray, the clergy will preach, the clergy will lead the Bible study. It makes, especially the younger generation, they are full of vigor, strength, and innovations. When they come to church today, next week, upper week, and they're just sitting down to watch us perform, it makes them to become apathetic to the ministry in the church. So we look at these things. Why are we losing some vibrant youths to the new generation movement called church? They go there, they were with us, they were doing nothing, but they go there, they become stars. And we say we really need to go back and rediscover this lay ministry. Encourage them in our churches. Give them platforms to perform, while we do not neglect supervision, control, and direction. So this is actually why we chose this theme, that we really need to. No church grows without the laity. There can never be also growth of the church where there is no synergy and partnership with the laity from the clergy. There is also need for us to know that even there is no church without laity. 5% of our membership can be clergy, 95% are laity. So if we don't do something to rediscover the ministry of the laity, encourage it, empower them, give them platform, we are just sitting on a cake of gunpowder. So this is why we want to say, how do we rediscover the laity? The CMS that brought this gospel to us Anglicans here, almost 98% of those that participated in that mission were lay people. If you have conversation with church history, There has been no growth and revival in the church that were not propelled by the lay people. If you read about the revival in the East Africa, which is one of the best reference point of revival in Africa, started in Uganda to Rwanda to Kenya to all the East Africa, there was great revival. Those things were carried out by the laity. And of course, if you look at the Old Testament, the priesthood was there, but God was always interested in his laos. The laos of God are the people of God. He will always say, Moses, come, I will send you. Moses was not ordained, but he made him part. A lot of people that made him part in the Old Testament were lay people. I can make do by saying that the lay people are the church growers. The clergy are the church administrators. If you lose the growers of the church, you have nothing to administer. So these are the reasons why we say, let us discuss how to really discover. Some of the lay people don't even give attention, knowing that God has endowed everybody differently to use your gift for the work of the ministry. As we can see in Ephesians chapter 4, 11 and 12, he said, this is for the equipping of the saints for the work of the ministry, not for the clergy. And when laity refuse to understand their clergy, instead of encouraging them, you are antagonizing your clergy, you're opposing them, you are criticizing them destructively, you are not giving them any incentive to keep them going, it doesn't augur well for the church. People of God, it is this important state of our church where there is dichotomy between the clergy and the laity in response seem to have abandoned everything in the church in the hands of the clergy, that we have decided to confront this problem head on, discuss it robustly in our plenary session. We have brought in seasoned preachers and Bible teachers to be our resource persons. The major Bible speaker in our synod will be Venerable Professor Chinedu Nebo. He will take us in all the sessions. And the Bible study session, we have brought in a layman who has been involved in church and church work. He's Professor Emma Okoye, who is very, very down to earth in youth, in church performance and lay ministry, and other things we will do during the synod. And having said that, that is where we are going today for the synod. And for this year, we are going to pray that God will help us to succeed. On Sunday, we have our Thanksgiving service, 9th of June. On Saturday, we present our address to the synod, and God being our helper, we believe it will succeed. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you, my Lord Bishop. Very short, yet very elaborate. Within the very brief period of this address, His Lordship has succeeded in establishing the very significance, the idea behind the synod meeting. He has successfully tied a relationship between this year's theme, quite unique in all respects, rediscovering and harnessing the ministry of the laity for holistic and effective church growth in the Anglican Church. His Lordship tried to link that theme with the cardinal objectives of the diocese as set forth in his inaugural address, which anchors on holistic evangelism through education, healthcare, agriculture, and social services. Within this brief moment, he has gone through the very special programs which in their very essence has turned Amish as a community and its environs to a pilgrimage center of some sort. The monthly prayer breakfast, Willing Women Prayer Summit, the Valentine banquet, couples banquet, night of evidence, and just to mention but a few. His Lordship has also taken this time to capture what has happened in the past 1 year. Quite outstanding, the magnificent edifices of the ultra-modern multi-million naira that stand Secretariat, the Women Bethany House, the shopping complex, and some other projects which we are dedicated alongside these three. And of course, he has scratched on the theme. Believe me, if the introduction is like this, I'm just trying to imagine what the full dose of the meal will taste like. There is a misunderstanding on one hand by the clergy, misunderstanding on the other hand by the laity. There is a dichotomy. What actually is churchmanship and ministry in the Anglican Church? These are the core issues that will be treated. I took it direct from the mouth, from the lips of our bishop, that when the laity antagonize instead of encourage the clergy, the church stagnates. The lay people are the growers of the church, while the clergy are the church administrators. And by implication, if the growers are not there, there will just be nothing to administer. The laity and the clergy of our church are like the two sides of the same coin. It's like the palm of your hand and the back of your hand. That's in a nutshell what His Lordship has told us. My Lord Bishop, we congratulate you for making it very concise yet in-depth. Now I want to give this opportunity to gentlemen of the press. You have heard the bishop. Perhaps there are issues you want him to elucidate the more, throw more lights on. You will please introduce yourself and drop your questions. As usual, we implore you to please stay within context. Stay within context. Thank you and God bless you. Any question from gentlemen of the press? Before I take the responses from the pressmen, please, my heartfelt, sincere apologies, please. I cannot shoot myself on the leg. While I introduce media houses present, I conspicuously, unintentionally omitted our very own Shaw Anchor Media Limited. Please, my apologies. And Shaw Anchor Media is represented by Godi Ezike. He's here. Please, a round of applause for him. Thank you. Please, it's not intentional. Come here, madam. So please, any response from gentlemen of the press? Francis Epone of the Orient Daily, please fire. Get this.
I want to first of all welcome you back to Nigeria. I learned you traveled, and I believe after this press conference, I will have a handshake with my bishop. This request or granted, my Lord. So let's start from there. Well, I also want to commend the diocese. We are very close to this diocese, and we keep telling our colleagues outside this place na ozu amara akpọ ogene ya na egba ya n'ọdụ. I believe the diocese is doing very well and doing very great. So we commend you for that. My Lord, the first question I want to ask for this issue of the theme of the synod, this year's synod. Alant is about trying to bridge the gap, that dichotomy between the laity and the clergy, and just to recover or rediscover and harness. Now, I hope, I don't know if it's a question, but I know that the laity, there are a lot of them who are highly talented, who have skills, who have whatever it takes to move the church forward, just as you rightly identified. But most times what we discover in the site is that some of the laity sometimes when give them, try to bring them very close or closer, assign certain responsibility to them, they try to fly higher. I hope the church is also, through this synod, will also find a way of checkmating the excesses or the abuse of such closeness in terms of this missionary work. That's number one question. Second one, my Lord, is while we are coming here, I think it was explained earlier that the NT, our colleagues from NT and ABS and others supposed to be here with us as usual, but they were unable to be here because of the sit-at-home order. In fact, when we were coming here, I know that we had one or two encounters, and once we identify ourselves, in fact, no, in fact, at a point, I started suspecting Odogmo, but IPOB member. So the point is, my Lord, this issue of IPOB and the sit-at-home order, do you think it is in any way helping us here in the Southeast? Because if you go to Oka, where we come from, I think we can say that there is partial compliance, but at Roma Junction, security took over the entire area. And some part of Oka, some people who jail they have to lock up their shops. Onisha is no-go area. I think you can have total, in fact, compliance be total. So it's not like Oka and the other places here. So I want to know, I'm what this part of this country now, what we lose today by locking up all the shops in the name of sit at home. So I really want you to tell us if in any way helping these people, they said, is because it will help to give us recognition we are seeking for. Let the international community know that we are together, and some other reasons they are trying to put to defend this. So I want you to really say something on that. And finally, my Lord, Mr. President was inaugurated yesterday for the second time, and something unusual happened, my Lord. Mr. President, immediately after his inauguration, we are waiting patiently to hear what he has to tell Nigerians. Only for Mr. President to jump into his vehicle and disappear from Ego Square. My Lord, do you think this kind of attitude by our leaders is in any way really helping us? Where a president was inaugurated, no single comment to Nigerians that elected him for the second time. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to plead, my Lord, we'll accumulate the questions and then address them one after another. You want to be responding?
I don't know. You are my manager now.
Let me ask, my Lord. We'll take notes and then you respond at once.
Do you think that will be the best?
Okay. Ask my Lord, please.
I think so that if we clear any gray area, nobody will go back to it. Let me do the snappy things. Checkmating the excesses of the laity when they are given chance to operate and exercise their ministries. Actually, checkmate, if you want the laity to perform optimally, you don't start by building walls of control first. Because this is what kills lay ministry. Allow the person to start exercising his ministry or her ministry. Anglican church is an ordered church. If this person now starts operating outside the established order and perimeter of performance, you know we have constitution. We are not one-man show church. So because why I start this way is that this checkmating thing most of the times come from the unnecessary and unfounded fear that the laity will take over our work. The laity will overshadow us. The laity will... That's not true. So, in as much as when I was talking, I said, why we give the laity opportunity to perform, control and direction must be there. But the word checkmating signals either fear or antagonism. I agree that we control, but we should be careful that we don't control because we want to frustrate. We control because we want to encourage. So I agree with you, there must be control, there must be checkmating, but let it not be with wrong intention. Thank you. I don't know whether your question is addressed there. Then IPOB. Actually, if you have been following my comments on IPOB, I have always been hammering on this sit-at-home order. Abuja has nothing to lose that we lock our shops in East. Lagos has nothing to lose. No part of this country has nothing to lose. So telling me that anybody is feeling our impact or giving us recognition is foolishness. Like you did say, the multi-millions or billions of naira the Southeasterners lose today is terrible. This is not the way to drive home our demand or register our presence. That you sit at home, lock up your shop. What are you achieving? So those who are at the hierarchy of leadership of IPOB should advise them, let us look for a more efficient and effective way of registering our matter. It's not all about 30th of May, everybody lock your shop, close everything, no movement in the Southeast, and people are rejoicing. What are you rejoicing that you achieved? No press conference, no flyers. I think they should say it's aggressive day of, print millions of flyers, no sit at home. Share it, higher institutions, Lagos, Abuja, let them know what we are agitating for. But to say close your shop, close schools, close offices, close banks, who is losing? So I am not seeing any benefit. Rather, the Southeasterners are shooting themselves on their legs because we survive by business. Government doesn't aid Igbos. If we now say every day we close our shops where we survive, and government is not interested, they even laugh at you as a foolish man, I think we have not. So my take there is that sit-at-home is irrelevant. It is never a strategy for moving forward. If you are fighting for something, you will do something that will affect the government so that they will give you attention. Nothing is affecting them here. So we are just dealing with ourselves. That's my stand on that. Then finally, Mr. President, well, I think I should, if what I'm thinking is why he did that, I should commend him. Do you know why? If he has conscience, he should not talk to us. We did not give him that mandate. That is the truth of the matter. So why should we be bold to talk to us as what? He is not our president. He imposed himself on us. So he did the right thing by knowing that we don't accept him. Only that we cannot do anything. There's nothing we can do. So that is a demonstration that they are just pretending to be all right. They know they are not all right. We did not vote. When I mean we, 80% of Nigerians did not vote for Buhari. So if we can sincerely get people who are experts, forensic experts in reading of votes, let them get all the votes we cast, the ballot papers. It is very clear there. So he did the right thing, because people may have booed him. If you even look at I think he has sense. He has sense. If you look at the attendance to that function, you know it was a charade. It was a joke. Apart from Gowon, whom people said, we don't know whether he's still reasoning well, every other former head of state or president, nobody showed up there. Is it not enough signal that we don't accept this government, but we are harmless? Helpless. So let them go ahead. Even in the post-inauguration dinner, he didn't show up. It was the Oshibanjo man that was talking what he wanted to talk. So my brother, he did the right thing because he has conscience. He should not be speaking to us because we did not vote for him. That is very simple. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, my Lord. Next question from Chinedu Madu, FRCN.
Thank you. My Lord Bishop, I want to commend the diocese under your leadership for the giant strides we are seeing in this diocese. Like the Venerable said, this place has become a pilgrimage center of some sort, where people can now come and take a cue from what is happening here. And this synod theme is very apt because of what is going on in the church. The dichotomy is something we cannot overlook. There's that need for synergy, and we hope that this synod is going to address it. Now, my Lord Bishop, we have seen a lot of developments, a lot of structures in this diocese, a lot of investment. You know, before now, we never knew that church could actually go into business. Yes, and church appears to be doing it better than the government. And I keep asking that question, keep encouraging the government to copy the church. Now, using the template of the giant strides here, I want you to advise our leaders, especially these ones that are just taking over leadership. Some are re-elected, some are coming for the first time. The debt profile of this, especially all the states in this nation, but especially those of the southeast, both our external debt and internal debt are so outrageous. It's so scary that even a child born today will grow up to meet such debts. You discover that the governors are not paying anything, they are just servicing those debts. And funds are coming in from the federation account every month, and nothing is being done. Those debts keep piling. We don't see meaningful development and all that. So I want you to advise our leaders, my Lord Bishop, on what they can do to reduce the outrageous debt profile in all our states and encourage more development. And then finally, Nigeria just yesterday, though we know that June 12th is now Democracy Day, but officially yesterday, we know that it was the 20th anniversary of uninterrupted democracy in this country. So I want you to, in a few words, capture or give us an assessment how you see the journey so far. Are we there yet? What are we supposed to do to grow our democracy so that it can compete with those of other developed nations? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Concerning the outrageous and embarrassing debt profile incurred by our leaders and still incurring, actually, it is a shameful thing. I will stand in any crowd to defend it. There is no debt profile in this country by any state governor that is justifiable. The prodigal stand of administration and the misfired concept of leadership is the cause of incurring of debt. The truth of the matter is that every state in this country is endowed to be self-sufficient financially. But where we have what we call hand and cap governors sitting in government without any political ideology, any standard manifesto before they took over, what do you expect? A governor can be a member of ABGA here now. After primary, he doesn't get ticket. He joins APC next month. He doesn't get his ticket in APC next month. He joins PDP. What do you expect? Does he have any focus? We have businessmen in governance, not politicians. A true politician stands on ideology, his political ideology. A true politician, before you vie for any post, must give out written manifesto, what guides him when he comes to office. Now, do you look at the kind of lifestyle of our leaders? There was something the former governor of Anambra State advised the new governor of Imo State yesterday. If he goes by that, he will succeed. The first thing he told him, say, Ihedioha, make sure you don't fly chartered jet. 40,000 naira can take you to Abuja and Lagos, and another 40,000 you come back. Instead of paying 5 million to take you to Abuja, 5 million you come back, chartered jet. And that is the life of our leaders. Internally generated revenue of any state can sustain. Listen to me, it's not a joke. Give me one state in Nigeria for 5 years. If I don't clear their debt, don't greet me on the way. It's a matter of simplified lifestyle. It happens in the church. There is money in the church, but misapplication and misappropriation is what I say there is no money. There is money in the church. But do you apply each money that comes into the church for the specific purpose it came in for? So before we throw stone at the government, we should look at the church. We lack prudent managers of resources in governance. And instead of coming on board to appoint technocrats who will help them to manage these sectors of their governing bodies, they will now use appointment for compensation of political supporters and allies. And that is why you can see somebody will be commissioner for agriculture, but he read political science. What will he offer there? Commissioner for Education, he read psychology. Commissioner for Works and Housing, he read English education. Where are we heading to? He said, let me look for an educationist and make him commissioner for education. You get result. Commissioner for Works and Housing, can I get a seasoned engineer and architect and put them there? Forget party affiliation. So my take there is that we don't have governors that are working seriously on their local resources. In Anambra State, for example, if we harness our IGR, we can compete with Lagos in resources, in finance. IGR, internally generated revenue. But we establish these things, use it to settle our cronies and our friends, and we'll look the other way, waiting for the end of the month. We carry our food flags and go to Abuja. So we are not receiving enough allocation from the federal government. In a developed country, there is no way such arrangement stands. Go to the United States. How can the governor of a particular state go to Trump and say, I've come to share resources? So what I'm saying is that our debt profile, I don't even know when it is ending. I don't know. I pity the younger generation that are coming up, because they are being sold into slavery. Until our leaders, in summary, until our leaders sit down and put round peg in a round hole by way of appointment, until they also sit down to know that leadership is a trust, it's not an inheritance. When you can just come, oh, I am now the governor, you are coming to Amish, your security, the first pilot vehicle is already in Amish, but the convoy is still in Ichida. Burning fuel of in one trip, 500,000 naira, 1 million naira fuel is gone in one trip. What stops you from using 3-4 vehicles? I was in Dubai when the king of what is their capital? Abu Dhabi. The king of Abu Dhabi, that's one of the richest people you can get. I was in the street of Dubai, that man was going. If it were Nigeria, everybody on that road will be chased out of the main road. That man was using just 2 vehicles. 2 white jeeps. No security, no siren, and he was maintaining lane where he was going. Do we have such in Nigeria? Have you not read that they change government vehicle every 2 years? They discard all these Prado jeeps. The cheapest Prado jeep is 48 million. They buy it, 100 of them. After 2 years, they discard them and buy new one. But some of us use our vehicles for 15, 20 years and they're still working. Why should we be such prodigal in spending? Government house, is it a place to throw party? Every weekend, go to our government houses. Every evening, 2-3 cows are slaughtered in the government house. For who? We must trim. This looks very hard, but until we face reality, we are beggars living as kings. That's the problem with our leaders. Beggars living as kings. So, you know, why I'm taking time there is that is my greatest pain in my life. Whenever I travel abroad, once I land in airport in Nigeria, first reaction is anger. What is the source of my anger? Our leaders travel to America, Dubai, they go to Germany, they go to UK, they see these things. Whenever I am going around overseas, I say, human beings did this in their country. Why can't we do it in our country? Everywhere generator, everywhere generator. Look at the costly joke. That man don't know his problem. The president of Zimbabwe. You see his costly joke the other day, last year. So he pitied Nigerians that when the trumpet will sound, they will not hear it in Nigeria because of the sound of generator. Look at Zimbabwe. Even in Aso Rock, they use generator. In governor's office, they use generator. Are we not ashamed? Ghana celebrated just 15 or 20 years of uninterrupted power supply. Ghana. In 1980 to 85, what were we saying? Ghana must go. And they went and faced their destiny. Today, go to Ghana. So I am worried that this country is heading nowhere. Our state governors, they are just there as prodigal sons. Wasting, every month, security vote. There are some governors that get security vote to the tune of 300 million every month. Some get 250 million every month. Some 240 million. What is security vote? The money that can never be accounted for. It is a discretionary fund at the disposal of the governor. What is it for? What are you securing? So, unless, look at our teachers, look at their salaries. Every governor is there, we cannot pay 30,000 minimum wage. That is monumental lie and wickedness. Every state can pay 30,000 comfortably. I'm not preempting my address, but I have to address both the governors and the senators in my address. They are killing this country. Do you know that some governors that translate into Senate, every month they are paid full pension as governor? The first question, if this country is working, is a man that occupied an office for 8 years entitled for pension? Why should we pay a governor that served politician, not a career man? But they are paid pension in millions. And every month they are given special allocation after office. Then every 2 years, their vehicles are changed after they have left office. Now they are collecting these things intact, and they are going home with no less than 40 million naira every month from the Senate as allowances and salaries. This money, can't it pay all the workers in Nigeria and you have surplus? So we have problem in our country, and I don't like discussing this country because it gives me pain. The journey so far, I think I touched it somehow. Democracy. We don't have democracy in Nigeria. We are just managing what we call democracy. Democracy, true democracy is anchored on meritocracy. Merit. True democracy. If we have democracy in Nigeria, the last election we had in this country should not have gone this way. If we have democracy in this country, there will be freedom of speech and press. Do we have it here now? There is something you will write now and we will not see you again. But in other countries, go to America. I just came back from there last 2-3 days. Anybody can write anything about Trump. Let him come and defend himself. You hold your opinion, you air it. But here, say something against our governor now, even if it is correct. So far it is not said well, according to him, you are an enemy. What he wants to hear, every governor, Akpokue is the best. Akpokue is working. Akpokue, you become a friend. But once you say, governor, you are not getting it right, they brand you the enemy of the governor. How can we move forward there? Ndị Igbo sị na anụta ka alaeze bụ ya bụ na Manezende Nigeria, on the politician side, don't tell them anything that is not praise. So brothers and sisters, for these 20 years of what you call uninterrupted democracy, we have not started democracy. Democracy is government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Our politicians have nothing for us. They are looking for their pockets. How can a president be sick and you fly abroad regularly? Your child was involved in a motorbike accident. He was taken abroad because no hospital is working. I pity poor people in this country. I pity the poor. Go to our hospitals, it is a graveyard. All the useless drugs in China, they dump it here for the poor. So we really need to re-strategize. If we need democracy, we must touch our constitution. The constitution of Nigeria is highly deficient to run a democratic government. Thank you.
Yes, Odogu, Emeka Odogu.
I hope you will be snappy. I want to go. I know you will have question.
My Lord, my name is Odogu Emeka Odogu. And standing on the praises they have showered on you, I want to know if this diocese is still a missionary diocese. Because I know that missionary dioceses are where the clergy are not paid, where the clergymen are not paid, and so many problems from here and there and yonder. And last time the primate was here, subtly, I heard him say that this diocese has moved from a missionary diocese. What it means or what it entails to me is that no clergyman here will have his salary outstanding for 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months, or whatever. Now I'm asking, what is actually the position here? Is the workers, the clergymen, everybody, are they happy? If they are, glory be to God. Thank you.
Well, I don't know how to measure happiness. Somebody can buy jet and is not happy. But first of all, from day one, Amish Diocese was never created as a missionary diocese. From day one. We were created as full-fledged diocese. So we were never missionary diocese in the sense of missionary diocese. Secondly, you are talking about salary payment and all that. I don't know how to answer that, but we have put an arrangement in place here. And what is that arrangement? When we started, we were doing what we call centralized salary payment, where churches pay assessment to the diocese at the end of the month. You are paid based on the amount your church can remit. And that gave us an opportunity to see that there is a problem. At that time, I don't know whether 30% of the clergy were receiving their salary. However, not because there was no money, but majorly because of insincerity. People claimed that there was no money in their parishes. Then we tried that for about 2-3 years and see that my name was in the air. The IKEAKOR is owing the clergy 6 months, 8 months, 1 year salary, or bishop is wicked. We now prayed and said, let us reduce the wickedness. And we now said, every church, every priest, before you pay your assessment for the month, pay your salary first. So we stopped the centralized system of payment. We localize it. So if anybody says that he is owed here, it means he is owing himself. If anybody, any clergyman say bishop is owing him, arrest him, put him in cell. I don't pay any clergy now. You pay yourself. Once you finish paying yourself, start taking care of your assessment to the diocese. So having said that, if anybody is being owed, I don't owe him. He's owing himself. Because I said something where you were talking about debt profile. I brought it nearer the church. If we manage church's finance well, we will tackle our problems. Priority is very important in administration. Priority. At first thing is salary. You close every unnecessary expenses. I said, this is the first thing. And once you do it, and diversion of fund, that this money is for this bulb, no matter what happens, I must use this money raised for this bulb to buy the bulb. We will have a little problem. So that is the state of things here. Every clergy in a church pays himself at the end of the month. So it's left for him to manage his finances well. Thank you.
Okay, and
Your own is raising hand.
yes, finally.
Nke a ibu note eboa.
My Lord
Please,
Bishop,
you can make it very snappy.
other
please.
protocols observed. I am SZK, Godin, presenting show and control. I have a double barrel of questions. One, Amish diocese is not up to, is not a one local government diocese. But today, when the primate of the Church of Nigeria came for inauguration, during the 10th year anniversary of separative performance, he was marveled at what he saw on the ground. And consequently and spontaneously, he declared Amish diocese grade 1 in the Church of Nigeria. My Lord Bishop, please, could you tell us the miracles behind this job-breaking or record-breaking achievement? Number 2 question. Aside these eye-boggling accomplishments by the Lord Assistant, is there any challenge or challenges in this diocese? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. The point is taken. First one, yes, Amish diocese is less than one local government area. Because at the point of finalizing the creation, one of the towns that would have completed it, a full local government, pulled out. That is Sokpo. They pulled out. But that's not the issue. You say the miracle behind all the achievements. Number one is God. The miracle is just God. Number two is, even though majority of the people will not follow you at a time, but we have few of our members who are highly committed and they encourage us a lot. There are some of our members, even though few, they encourage us a lot. They support what we are doing. Number three, what I can call probity in financial management. Probity in financial management. We don't waste money here by the grace of God. And secondly, every money that comes into this diocese has its own account. If others have copied it, but we were the only diocese that was running that system. For instance, when Governor Peter Obi was in office, he will always give us money for education, support education work, agriculture, support our diocese. Any money he releases to us, we will create, like we have till today, Diocese of Amich Education Project. Any money that comes for education is spared there. Any money he brings for hospital, we have Diocese of Amich Hospital Project. You know why we do these things? I don't need to explain to anybody. If the government say bring account for all the education money we release, I don't need to write anything on paper. Just get the statement of account from the bank and give to them, because every expenditure they must see there must hang on education. For hospital, any expenditure from that fund must be around the hospital matter. For agriculture, any expenditure you see in that account will hang around agriculture matter. So by that, it gave us opportunity to manage the little money coming very carefully and to checkmate embezzlement and misappropriation. Then I tell them the fourth reason why we're achieving, we have some clergymen who are honest and sincere. We work with them. You know, to be a pastor in a rural area is one of the hardest things you can do. This man here, I can give it to you, many clergymen, they sacrifice a lot to make sure the diocese move forward. And as a result, because of their support and commitment, you are seeing what you are seeing now. So these are the reasons. And of course, I have a praying wife. My wife prays a lot for me because it's serious. And that takes me to the last thing he asked. Is there any challenge? Any day you stop having challenge is the day you will die. So the challenges are enormous, but we don't hang our life on challenges. We have challenges of paucity of fund. Like if you can have chance, you go and visit what we are starting to build at School of Midwifery. You will discover that if we have 200 million or 220 million, we can finish that thing. But as I talk to you now, I don't think I have 10 million in my hand. We walk by faith. It's a big challenge. We also have challenge of our wealthy members. The truth of the matter, even though by land mass, Amich Diocese is not large, but the truth remains that God have given us men that are wealthy. That if they can look inside and support this diocese, we will never lack anything. So one of our greatest challenges is that our rich members are not part of what we are doing. They are good in diaspora, but they don't support what we are doing. Only very few. So it's a big challenge. It's also another challenge that rural populace don't make any much impact in terms of finance. There are some churches you go after Sunday service, you not get up to 10,000 naira, tithe, still worship, all the offerings. So it's a big challenge. One of the greatest challenges is that there is no government presence here. You know, in other places you can have a higher institution, government hospital, and people will be coming there to settle. There is no government presence in this place. So we struggle to survive, and God has been sustaining us. So these are a few of our challenges, not all, but I know challenges are part of life. We are not complaining, we are not murmuring. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, my Lord Bishop, for those detailed and down-to-earth explanations. I am sure anybody who has been part of this briefing will not be left in doubt as to what God has used His Lordship to do for us in this diocese, where the diocese is heading, and by what has been said, the bishop has merely opened a window to us, especially for those of us who are not really synod members. At least you can have a peep into what is in store for the synod. Once again, thank you, my Lord, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being part of it. Just that we also need to remind us activities lined up for the synod program proper. Please be reminded on the 5th, that is by Wednesday next week, the synod gets underway. His Lordship will be here with all the synod delegates for the opening service. Wednesday, 12 noon, the opening service will be going down here in the cathedral. And then remember, Saturday is the D-Day. We usually invite all and sundry, all friends, neighbors, well-wishers, admirers from across the land. I have always held this belief very strongly that every year, whenever the bishop stands to deliver his address, it's not just about ecclesiastical matters, theological issues. Of course, I am sure this year's address is loaded with a lot of punches, loaded with a lot of things to prick the conscience of the society. So we invite all and sundry to be part of that history-making presentation Saturday, the 8th day of June. And of course, is an open house on Sunday where we thank God, celebrate God's grace, and for a successful synod. Hoping you will find time to join us. Once again, thank you for being part of it, and may God continue to bless you. Thank you, my Lord Bishop.
I think we are done. Motion or a question?
I heard everything being said, but I heard one thing. I don't know if there are some other years that heard that. And we can't just sweep it under carpet. We need to take note of it and even work hard towards it. Slave trade came at a time and it was abolished. But to my understanding, slave trade is still going on even up till today. That is why there is poverty in our society. And a man has come up today to say that, give me a state, watch me 5 years and see, well, are we keeping quiet over it? Is there nothing we can do that we see this happen even in our own time? Thank you, my Lord.
So you want to give me a state? If you give me, I wasn't joking about it. Because when I look at our leaders, I say, look, like Ibu governor, Ibu governor, at that level now, it's just a private house, a rural village, swimming pool, even zoo, even no nugget. Forgetting that you'll be there for the maximum of 8 years. You can't maintain this house when you drop from government house. Sensible person, rurobero no gezuruge na nwunyegi. Because onu mugodo umu 10. Na vobero ge ndi ruru eno di, ano di poa. Ndi ruru eno nwai, achoto uno, lo nwunye poa. That house bu soge na nwunyegi. Why can't we be sensible enough to build a small house by? Like I tell them, I'm retired as bishop now, all on the village, I'm on Fiama room maintain. Because when I say, hey, bishop, Tinyan Keba, and say, Mabu bishop forever. That's the way you think about the future. So if I merely I don't understand. So when I trim more our way of living. I'm monofumbe this boy biara Nigeria, Mark Zuckerberg. Onofurumbo na gale. Gini goyi. t-shirt na jean and my suspect of jean trouser. But in Africa, je na akwa customized suit just specifically for a governor. And that suit ofu nwere ike bụ ebe 1 million naira. No, for suit. I travel, I go to where they sell things. 1 million naira. And now akwale every year. Every year acquire 200 pieces. What on earth are we doing with that kind of thing? How can a governor borrow ofu bottle mmanya 450,000, one bottle champagne? No, on afunubege. Champagne 80,000 a bottle, 120,000, 250,000, 400,000, one bottle. And now we are steady in a government. Obenye na akwale is a man 30,000. No, we are not serious at all. We are not serious at all. It's happening in the church. It's happening in the church. So, upon I 3 more lifestyle line in Nigeria. If we been may travel, with that gene and about pianera about polo for joy and your fact by us, not 2 weeks. Nigeria gave back Patiara. Arakaya, maka 2 weeks, gold, over why, gold, anya each day on Yanke ditch. Handbag, wake 15, no for travel. You see the false life we live. When you're charge of office or did descent, when Nigeria, they coat. Then no more in Nigeria, boss I see. We've another guy here in Obodoibo. No, this attachment and other guy here in Obodoibo, all in Nigeria. So, excess is carried. All the can no. Some of us here. Emmanuel when they were on once a day. In supervise umo highly funny haburi na trash can dustbin winye a bachi hankete. Mba, yeah me na bem. Makemwe dem magoji afro do half plate. Irichaze iburuje afro mfurage iye kuputeni aje sikwe anoko. No, it's not a joke. It's a privilege in Ebonwa Bishop, maybe Bishop. You cannot waste that privilege. But the parents say, "Ketiogi rifara gidia tonye na iya irifa gidi ketie na fridge otutu sikwa gidia here area." Chongpo program dey na tafu na main road. So until we sit up, modify our lifestyle, we will not move forward in Nigeria. That is my own. So Ijoma, unu nyere am state mmachi. Kama onchebakwa, onye ebekwa na akwa. Maka na ya na-ekwule ade ụtọ n'ọnụ, mana implementation. Agwa ha na nchebe ọchịchị ndị ya aga nga. Even as a civilian governor, ndị ya atọ nga. Jekere na university ya, je na secondary school la. Onye na supervise. Okay, I be able the way we work in government. As a governor, or commissioner, I be a classroom block. What is the first thing you consider in citing a project? Is it not usefulness? I sent a message. Say, we have more than enough. When the classroom say for how many years? Let us move this building to primary school in Isokendeda. They refused and cited it there. What are we going to do with it? Okay, where do you go? Usefulness is my concern. But then you going to say Megere approve. Kaibu dan o family chaya. Eba need the classrooms now be bedo to. I nwere two mo unenu adeba amado nene use. Classroom ba kasa manage tinye eba. Okay, where do you go? These are things I cannot be part of. Onye nkuzi bịa akwụkwọ ọrapụ akwụkwọ ọ ya ka ha ji agbapụ na private schools na Abaja government. You can come to school by 8 by kpagide nkata 1 ije day test na board bata kpatọpụ nke fọrọ gị rapụ ụmụaka ha were aka ha mark ya the test. Nobody cares. Go to our universities, you pity this country. Enwe professor ị ga-awọ na-asụ oyibo na-ajụ ma ọ n'ọhịa ka o si pụta. Because a na-egosi professorship ego na Nigeria. Kita doctor, PhD, PhD. Let us gather all the PhD holders in Nigeria. Ka ha gosi m ofu article ha denugo na professional journal na discipline ha gụrụ. Ihe na-ewu kita Ephraim, Right Reverend Ephraim IKEAKOR PhD. Na-achịgharị pepa. Nweghị onye ọcha ji pepa ga-eme. Onye ọcha na-afụcha onye ji PhD were onye jere mụọ mekanik mụta ya ọfụma were na-arụ ọrụ na company. Nweghị eji pepa ga-eme. Productivity is their concern. So nchi ofu steeti na Nigeria ọsọ ga-agba. Because some of the lecturers, I will put them in prison. What a ajụ na class, you say, I go and consult your library. Why are you paid? And they were na merit. Admission in this country will in shambles. Rich men can enyo Muhammad to bam professional courses. So what happened when I'm of a church?
My Lord Bishop.
And church also got back.
Yes, I wouldn't want to, as an individual or this house, to be guilty of red herring. If my Lord Bishop is serious about the issue he raised, and the question I want to ask immediately is there anything in the Constitution or Convention of Church of Nigeria that prohibits that?
Prohibit what?
That a sitting bishop can run for governorship.
Yeah, that's where you get it. A sitting bishop. In our constitution, you don't serve two masters at a time. So if you will go to contest the election, you first of all resign as a bishop. But the church will support you to go and contest. So if everybody man overall theocracy can emena onu wegerari aje natram of state. I chibe again for commissioner for information. I be there no on abun no obodo njecha obodo Igbo akwa. Nasa dash keneni mofu state 5 years na Nigeria. Court to SS is nonsense and where go. Look at what unukwe ana. Okwe for Peter Obi. Ego save na this state. Amara bonye get save nwe. Onyero mo ema Peter Amanda shige ego. Onyero mo ego privately man he will support your for na gaga project. He can't give you money. In fact, but I also na roll onye had 200. That's Peter for you. That's Peter for you. Na mbaka na akakeko. Eko chacha Peter ne negilach. Iwe onye mbaka ga-eme ya o were ihere kpọkanye ofu ihe akọcha father we will see no problem. I will come back. I nwere ụdị mind a mmepụta ihe na Nigeria. Mind project niile look at Imo State. I was reading their handover whatever. Governor na-apụ rapụrụ onye na-abata 100 billion naira debt. Mana ekpara rescue mission. 100 billion debt. Kera poro na bata. Were unfunctional, uncompleted hospital in every community. Aro aka mechare na gairi and on mad na akuri egwa. On the press as a cause problem. No. It pains my heart. Obro sondimo. Ije ka fa radio and abia. BCO Maya. Every day, I travel to Abando Maya almost every month or 2 months. And that will be the worst city you can visit. Manandi radio no dia na etinku. Say no kozebu chineke no nowa. Okezuabia. The worst city ga no baba. Give me Aba. Any governor when a sense will abandon everything, build Aba, the resources you will run that state with will flow in from Aba. Onye win ụbọchị mma na okezi ahụ nwere problem bụ ụbọchị o win election ka na-agba egwu ana video na-agba egwu ndị commissioner na-aja ya ego ka akpọrọ result video. I saw it. If you were performing, why are you dancing that they elected you? Your works will speak for you. This man, I said, more music up. Onomaye Chris Azuboguji win election. Performance. We can't hide it. Only Obonama. Chris Azubog won on performance. So, when you are Zokalele for KFC, Manandi Anine, Anejari, and the Obaro, Najua, ndị a na-azụ election ha nwekwa conscience. Ka ihe na-akada ndị ọba obi o ji apụta azụ ọchịchị. I know na unu nwekwa candidate ebe a, gwa na ha ihe m kwuru. Lee n'ụzọ a, Chris Azubog lụgidere ọgụ arụdebe ya ebe ha lụdebere ya, mana senator anyị nọ 8 years. Oga is one of the most backward town dị na Anambra na. Mana enwego senator there. The ọkpara nne ya arụgo senator. Ya nwa arụ 8 years. Ya nwa bụ the closest man Obasanjo they use were ebupụ ego. Mgbe nke nothing to show. Yet in the Anambra na ụmụ okorobịa na-esogharị ya and our man and our man. It's all about performance. Buhari neediro ime the campaign n'oge eme n'election a. If he performed all for na church, then I said the Nigeria, una afugo ihe mere, una like cross chota na onye ọzọ. You just have to vote for him. But how many politicians get me here? Because they don't perform. Onye rigoro oje na haro structure na go no na Dubai, go no na ebe mmadụ rụtara. 1979-80 Obasanjo na-achị ndị Dubai bịara na Nigeria loan of $1 million. I don't know whether you have read that document. No, I cry for this country. How did it end? Okpo King of Dubai na nke Emirate Abu Dhabi. So our problem back how you boomed in Nigeria. I said our problem is not again money, but how to spend it. You know, Obasanjo where they have ball. You know, I can give you $1 million as loan, but my problem is your place is all desert. From where will you pay back? Because that time Dubai need but desert. Owanine na abia Dubai for tourism now. Owanine, the busiest airport anywhere in the whole world now, but Emirate International Airport. In on Emirate, how international airport, but man Emirate both the best beautiful airport. And we big about 20 aircrafts na fly a line there go slow to plane with a felly. Look at Nigerian Airways. Just look at it. And when I sustain Ethiopia kita or ET, Ethiopian Airlines, their major source of income. Manadamu, Mege in Nigeria, Owere Aisha, me General Manager, Nigerian Airways. We know family 10. I guess I. So in the by this country make me weep. I cry for my country. That's why we kweha sikewa oboda. Ndo obuna labe ha. Nda Hausa. Lawa ndị Yoruba. Na baka anyị ndị Igbo bịa mara ihe na-eme anyị. Because of ihe mma bụ inye ndị Igbo. Onwere ihe anyị ji gọọmenti eme we develop our place. Upon marginalization Igbo now, we are the highest developed state and region in Nigeria. Through self-effort. Ndị Igbo withdraw ihe niile ha rụrụ na Lagos tata. Lagos will collapse. This is the truth. So, Hapụnụ nka nna obodo a na-enye m nsogbu. So aga m azụ election by Chukwuebuka. I think somebody moves a motion for adjournment. Anybody? I'm seeing a Juku. GOC, a member planning committee. Observe how they move the motion. Dr. Obum. I have the microphone. Venerable Juku moved. Dr. Obum Nole seconded. And when they are at home, lose us and let us go. Closing prayer. Koloto. To Chineke onyamara, toya ihe niile n'ụwa, toya usukebi n'igwe, tona n'ọkpara na mmụọ nsọ. Anyị na-asọpụrụ gị ọzọ, Chineke onye obiọma na onye obi ebere, na amara gị na nnọnyere gị na nzukọ nke ụbọchị taa, na ịgwa okwu nye ọha na eze na ndị nta akụkọ iji na-achịkọta mmalite nke SYNOD anyị nke ga-ebido na izu ụka na-abịa. Anyị na-ekene gị na ihe agbamume anyị na katidral ndị gosipụta site n'ife a na-afụ anya nkwadobe ha kwadobe maka SYNOD nke a. Na-ekene gị na ndị SYNOD delegates, ndị si SYNOD planning committee members, ndị si ebe dị iche iche wee bịa, na ndị press ndị dutere n'udo, na ntụgharị uche nke anyị tụgharị n'ehihie a. Anyị na-asị ka ekene na nsọpụrụ dịrị gị n'afa Jizọs Kraịst. Onye nwe anyị ekwuwe n'okwu, biko mere anyị ebere n'obodo a bụ Naịjirịa. Metụ ndị ọchịchị anyị aka n'obi, gbanwee ọnọdụ anyị na Naịjirịa ka anyị ghara ịbụ ihe ịmụ amụ na ihe ịchị ọchị. Chineke nke pụrụ ime ihe niile, anyị na-ayọ gị dịka anyị na-ana ugbu a ka ị duru anyị na n'udo ma chekwaba anyị ruo Wednesday na-abịa mgbe anyị ga-amalite SYNOD a. Ihe ndị fọrọ ndị katidral imetọpụ nyere ha aka ka ha mee ya dịka o si tọọ uche gị ụtọ. N'ikpeazụ duna anyị na be anyị dị iche iche n'udo site na Jizọs Kraịst bụ onye nwe anyị. Ka anyị niile nara amara nke onye nwe anyị Jizọs Kraịst na ịhụnanya nke Chineke na nwekọ nke mmụọ nsọ dịrị anyị ugbu a na mgbe niile. Amen. Onye nwe anyị nọnyere unu.